In making solutions, the solubility of solids and gases is a very important concept. For solids, with respect to temperature, solubility increases with warmer temperatures, and that's a general trend. So you can see that solubility would go up as the temperature increases. So if you want something to dissolve better, you could just heat it up a little bit. If it's a solid, you could heat it up a little bit. So for example, if you're making sweet tea, sugar dissolves better in hot water. So you would heat the water to make the sugar dissolve better, because sugar is a solid. For gases, that trend is actually opposite. If you heat the solvent and try to dissolve a gas into it, it is not going to dissolve very well. So solubility decreases with warmer temperatures. So you see that trend go down. So actually, if you want to increase solubility, you're going to want to cool down the solvent before you try to dissolve the gas into it. So an example of this is if you leave soda in a hot car on a summer day. If you've ever done that, you know that it can make a big mess because the cans will explode because the pressure builds up. The gas in the soda that's dissolved in the soda starts to undissolve. It's not as soluble, it's coming out of solution, and it will build up pressure and cause the can to explode. All right, for gases and pressure, so now we're going to look at the pressure of the gas over the solvent. It will increase solubility with higher pressure. It's also called Henry's law. There's an equation where concentration is equal to some constant times the pressure. It's directly proportional. So if we have two solutions here, if you have a low pressure of the gas over the solvent, then you're going to have a low concentration of that gas dissolved in the solvent. Whereas if you have a higher pressure of that gas over the solvent, more of it will dissolve down into that solution, making a higher concentration of that gas in the solution. So an example of this concept is a fizz keeper, which it doesn't really work, but the idea is to, when you open your soda, to pump it full of gas to help keep the gas dissolved down in the soda, to keep it from going flat. But in order for it to work, you would have to pump it full of carbon dioxide to keep the carbonation fresh in your soda. But the air is not made up of carbon dioxide, and you're really just pumping it full of air. So the concept is great, but you would need carbon dioxide gas to help keep it from going flat. So quick summary for solids, you can see that as you increase temperature, it helps your solids to dissolve. But for gases, it's just the opposite. For gases, you want cooler temperatures to help the gas be more soluble, but increasing temperatures would cause it to be less soluble. And in terms of pressure, increasing the pressure would help of the gas. That means you have more of the gas and you're pressurizing it over the system, and it allows more to dissolve. So it's more soluble with higher pressures.